It's still a beautifully murky day, and the sea fret down there is even better than it is here, and that's where I'm heading. We were at Walcott this morning, and this is Battelle. There's like 150 foot between the two villages. It's bizarre. And I thought, well, it's so gloriously bad weather, let's go out and see if we can do something else. So here I am. And what I've been shooting is these stanchions. The water's out far enough that I'm not getting any of the groins in, the horizontal bits. I'm just getting verticals. And I like this group. Now, I'm cheating a little bit. There is actually 6 there, but 2 are virtually next door to each other. They're sort of welded together. So I've essentially got 5. It's a very tight right-handed composition because I didn't want any of this groin, the rest of these defences in. And I'm getting a little bit of a reflection, and I've broken the 10 stop out because although it's murky down there, it's actually quite bright in this little spot. I haven't put the polarizer on yet. I think I might do at some point. I need to try it. I've got the 10 stop in, and I've got a 0.6 medium, which is actually pulled up nearer the top to give me a bit of a gradient, and I think my filter holder needs tightening because it's slipping down a little bit. I'm at, I don't know, f11, and I just let it run and run and run to smooth the water out, but to get in some of this reflection in the wet sand. When I get it on the computer, I might flip it so that it's left to right, but break the rules, you know. A negative space on the left leading you into the focal point, which is these stanchions. Now there's no startling detail in them, they are covered in shells, but it's not really green, it's dark wood, and it's sort of a yucky colour. Algae that's on it, it's sort of a yellowy colour. That filter is really annoying me the way it's sliding down. It's a Lee filter holder and a Lee filter, so that shouldn't happen. I might have to have a word with Lee about that one. I've treated myself to a 0.6 medium glass filter because I'm sick of my resin filters getting scratched. Because that's what I do with them. And, oh yes, that one's a little bit blown. That previous one was 68 seconds. And that one was 64, but I don't know why. I prefer the 68. I think it's that filter that's doing it. Just a second. F8. Yeah, I haven't changed anything. How bizarre. I was using the filter to try and just give me a bit of a gradient in the sky, so a darker sky, then a lighter sky down to the water, which has smoothed out because I'm using the 10 stop. I think I'm just going to pop the polarizer on. Again, excuse me, disappearing. I'm not convinced it's going to do anything because I'm not entirely sure where the sun's actually meant to be at this moment in time. It might be sort of overhead. Excuse me, I'll be back in a sec. And I have to keep cleaning this polarizer because it's picking up sea spray like you wouldn't believe. But the joys of being at the seaside doing seascapes in a headwind. Oh dear me. Right, let's pop that bugger on, see what that does for it. But yeah, I just thought it would be kind of rude not to. Let's see if that's having any effect. It's darkening the sea. Interesting. So that might actually bring out the reflections a little more. I'd say we're on a receding tide big time now. It's incredible how far up that tide came. So I'm working quite quickly. I'm going to wander down there because there's some more groins coming out of the water. I'm just hoping that this is going to continue for tomorrow morning because that'll be pretty darned awesome. The forecast says it's the same. Not convinced. We'll see what happens. So I've come down and isolated these 4. They look like 3 to me. I'm using artistic license. It's actually 4, but we can get away with them being 3. I could shoot up here and the top of the central one would just skim the horizon. But I thought, to start with, I would try down here. I'm not convinced. It strikes me as a little bit uncomfortable with the horizon line running through the middle of those groins, stanchions, whatever you want to call them. But I'm going to let it run. I tried a 30-second exposure, not quite long enough. We're getting some nice reflections in the sand, so I'm just going to let it cook. I'm thinking probably 50 seconds. 10 stop on, I haven't changed my setup. Excuse me. 10 stop, 0.6, and I have put the polarizer on, which I need to fiddle with, because I just kind of plonked it on and didn't do anything with it. So I think I've been talking to you for quite long enough. Oh, 89 seconds. Yeah, I'm happy enough with the composition, but I'm not happy with that horizon line. So, time to get tall, I think. Take that off because I can't actually see what I'm doing. I'm taking care not to let these two encroach. I think we're about there. And I think we might end up going portrait orientation. And we'll try it in landscape. Although, having said that, it's too close to the camera, the subjects. Not enough space around them, so flick that over, turn those round. That is better. I've already checked focus, so yeah, the tallest of the groins is just below the horizon, which is fine. If I decide to blend the horizon, fabulous. Or I can leave it as it is. Really won't make much difference. And I could actually stand back here a little bit. We'll have a look. Anyway, so that's shot number 2. I haven't got very far down the beach, have I? If somebody says to me, do you fancy a hike? I'm like, really? No thanks. You're fine. Put me on a beach, show me some groins in the distance, and I'm off. It's like a route march. I must have done about 1,000 miles. Well, it might be a little bit of an exaggeration. It's probably a good 2 miles down this beach. I've no idea where I am. I'm the other side of Battlle, and my feet are aching. Out there is a sandbank appearing, so I am rapidly running out of time. But what's caught my eye is these defences. Apart from the lovely green and yellow seaweed, it's the shape that they've worn in underneath. They've very obviously been solid, and it almost looks like metal. Might be wood, but it's looking a bit more like metal. And it's worn in arches. Is that because of the shape of the waves coming in and hitting it? Sort of the up and down motion of the water? I don't know, but it's fascinating. I've done a test shot, and I'm at 40 something seconds. I am at f8, and yeah, the sandbank's coming through a bit now, which I'm not keen on. So, what was I saying? I was digressing. F8, 39.4 seconds. The subject is quite low down in the frame. I wouldn't mind doing a landscape orientation because it's kind of a little bit cramped. I can extend the canvas in Photoshop if I want to. But I went for portrait because I felt like it. I can't do another one because the sea bank is coming through. I've got the 0.6 grad filter pulled a quarter of the way down, so it's just putting a nice gradient in the sky. Oh, I can feel my feet sink in. I really wish I wasn't blind as a bat. Ah, no, that's more in focus. Right, I've come down to these groins so the sandbank isn't in focus, or isn't coming through. Come on. That's better. We've got 3, 6, 9. 3 groups of 3, almost equispaced, and on the furthest out and the furthest away we have the ubiquitous marker pole with the red cage on the top. I've got that properly on the left and quite close to the bottom of the frame. I haven't got any of the longer struts because they're all rather boring, there's nothing there. And then I've got an expanse. Helen Trust is my inspiration for these. 40 seconds, I think, is going to be about right. Same setup, 10 stop, 0.6 grad, polarizer turns so it takes the reflections off the water. And with a bit of luck and following wind, 49 seconds. I really ought to stop talking for so long. That's better. There's the merest reflection coming through on where the sandbank is just starting to appear, but you can't see any sand yet. So that's good. I just want to do 40 seconds. There's a lovely blue feel to the image, and the horizon is so not there, it's perfect. And I think that's going to be about it. I've just seen some more marker posts, some more groins, uprights, the other side of the one I'm shooting. So I might have to nip around there because it's a long way to walk and not do everything I want to do. That's got to be about 40 seconds. 37, boom, perfect. And that I am liking. There's a couple of little bits of added interest on those. The furthest group of 3, the ones outmost in the sea, have got 2, I'm inclined to say branches, they're not branches. I suspect they're the old metal fixings coming out of them, just above the waterline. And on the horizontal top part, there's one sticking out. The second set in have got a vertical something or other hanging off it, and in the middle, a vertical upright something or other. That's nice, like that. That is definitely staying colour. Oh, there's a Labrador, there's 2 Labradors. Oh look, hold on. Oh look. That one's called Maggie, the black one. She's an old girl. I don't know who the blonde one is, the yellow one. He's, hello Maggie. Yes, don't you pity him, she can't pee on my bag. There's no treats in it either. He's having, or she's having, he's having a whale of a time with his ball. Oh Lord. Anyway, yes. I think now is a good time as any to call it a day. Go and get some dinner and decide what I'm going to do with sunset. I might stay in the van. Sunset is 6:30ish and high tide is 8 o'clock-ish. 12 hours from the last sunrise and sunset, sunrise and high tide. So I'm going to keep an eye on the weather. We're on an almost full moon. I think the full moon was yesterday. So the tides are a little bit higher than they would be normally. Apparently, that's what's called a spring tide. Apparently they happen every 12 to 14 days. So Google reliably informs me. Thank you for coming along. Hope you like the images. And look after yourself. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Toodaloo.